Attention gamers, every single time Riot releases a new champ I lose a little bit more hope in humanity as it seems to bring out the knuckle-dragging Neanderthal in all of us where the amount of people falling victim to new champion syndrome is astounding. Symptoms include joining lobbies just to demand you get the new champ despite queuing for the role that makes absolutely no sense with said champ, only to immediately dodge the lobby when it gets taken or banned and thus cause 9 other people who just want to relax for a bit after their shitty day at work wait another 18 dodged lobbies with other people just like you until it's been 25 minutes and they still haven't gotten into a game yet. This syndrome is most common in ranked lobbies for some reason too because learning how to play a champ in normals makes way too much sense. But the list of symptoms continues with a last-ditch search of how the hell to play the champ during loading screen and then long periods of time in-game are spent trying to decide what the hell this champion should be buying. Native concepts of MOBAs like map awareness, teamwork and vision are totally foreign to these people as they are too focused on seeing what kind of sparkly animations happen when they push their buttons instead. Dumb overextended and oftentimes outnumbered fights are taken on repeat because not only do these people choose to introduce themselves to the new champ on the ranked version of the Summoner's Rift, but they also like to conduct a rather reckless test drive on the new whip in the process until they have single-handedly and inexcusably ruined the integrity of the game they were in, which normally affects at least one other player trying their hard-stuck dick off to carry what is most likely their promos, and that, my friends, is new champion syndrome. Now don't act like you don't have at least one friend who is afflicted by this, so use this video as the icebreaker in your next intervention with them, and let's get into a rather acute case on the latest addition to the Rift. Ksante, the pride of new champs that adhere to Riot needing to show how inclusive they are as a company. #buy our skins please. Alright, so the game starts off with our pending feeder doing the whole damn Macarena in the shrub. Side note, he opted out of bringing a Kool-Aid to work unlike the others around him, but I'm guessing he'll just want to farm and avoid trades without that sustain, but turns out he doesn't carry around those stone bedazzled cabinet drawers just to not constantly pick fights, so before he even hits 2 he's lower than a limbo bar in hell and his vulnerable Theo nipple is facing the fencer, so you already know her sword is going to be erect as all shit and ready to deflect a whole lot of absolutely nothing before a quick follow the flashing leader to send Big Nas X back to base. Meanwhile, bot lane we have Santa's slutty little help checking his list twice and apparently playing Akshan. ADC qualifies as naughty, so in addition to a lump of coal he will also be getting killed. Come to think of it, add noob next to naughty on that list right under. Gets mad at mom for buying the wrong type of Pringles / magnetically attracted to thresh hooks, which long story short has this MF bigger than her tig old bitties not 5 minutes into the game. But not to fear, Mr. T hasn't a clue in hell what he should be building is here, and then 6 eons later when his top heavy ass finally got back to lane he immediately finds himself as that dumb shit who brought his little handheld battering rams to a jousting fight, which long story short ends in him running away screaming bloody murder before ultimately dying, and I'm not even gonna show if that weaponized soccer ball cleans it up because this is silver, so you already know he doesn't. But anyways, he comes back chipper as a feeding chipmunk, call him Squishy. Thinking he can just wear 2 shirts and he'll start clapping cheeks, but he has less vision than Ray Charles in a wind tunnel, which makes it easy for floating Aladdin and his circus act of soul sucking to perform while 3 alien attack corgis nibble him away and he's off to an 0-3 start. Meanwhile, this MF is benefiting from quite the support / jungler diff, or what us ADCs call an ADC diff. As you see, there's so much camping going on down there, she's gonna be shitting s'mores as shrapnel for weeks, but it's a small price to pay for having almost a kill per minute and things are looking up. Even newbie Natsuma is showing how with the power of Riot Games' new champion designs, an 0-3 first timer down 30% in CS can still hardcore smash one of the best duelers in the game who has a 2-level advantage on the guy who has proven to still be learning what in God's piss his own abilities do. And here's where I would squat down and take a verbal shit on Riot, but considering people who spam new champs on release typically live in cages at zoos when they aren't busy ruining people's days on a video game, it must be a necessary evil to overtune them on launch, or they'd have even worse than a 40% win rate the first week. But anyways, continuing on to the heartbreaking anime arc that is this chick with double Ds who is seemingly farming double kills. She's now strong enough to hold lane in 1v2 situations by distributing a small quantity of fiery wrath in their direction. And I say heartbreaking because of the new champ syndrome ridden kid up top whose only interaction with a ward is the one his mom tried to admit him into after his 2015 foot fetish freakout, which means he'll be caught blindsided every time Prince Soulsuck comes in to drown him in a galaxy puddle before leaving Theo to collect the fee. But he's now bought a frozen heart as an exact replica of the one his dad has, which should explain some of this seemingly unparented behavior, as his fights look like he's repetitively trying to grab this chick's ass and drag her into statue, but failing like he's wearing mittens or too busy carrying door fragments and being awful, so he just dies alone before he would have gotten table-topped by floating Aladdin again anyway. That said, Lantern Larry is shaping up to be the #1 hooker on the Rift, which is ironic considering the cans on this Christmas elf would definitely sell more OF subs, but it doesn't matter when she's making those bands without having to dance on behalf of him, doing the dirty work until her KDA is looking like something a YouTuber would be flexing on his 12th Smurf in a rank 6 below his main to farm content. But this game is far from over because of Bobby's shit for brains up top and what he's been up to. Which at this point was trying to sell pay-per-view tickets to his own boxing match with this severely swollen scuttle crab. But the problem with doing less damage than a wet tampon is that eventually the bad guys are gonna guess what you're up to, so he starts to make his grand escape only to keep turning back to touch them as if he's some overgrown child thinking this is a playful game of tag, failing to realize their homicidal intentions to freeze him and then turn the color off on his screen again. Anyways, at this point his therapist recommends he distance himself from anything that reminds him of the repetitive failures he experienced growing up, so he opts to leave the top laner and look for his missing brain cells elsewhere on the Rift. And since Fio is used to the feedy, she gets a little greedy, letting him line up his first carry on my Wayward Son combo to let their statue of laser pointing Liberty slap her ass a few times, which was great, and all a prompt round of applause for this dumb shit until he opts into using his dash to go towards the dangerous moves rather than dodging them, so add mid lane to the location list of his failures too. Poor MF is now trying her big-titted dick off to salvage the shit fest caused single-handedly by Ksante first name K, as you see the fire pukes melting both mages on the other team. But being fed on an ADC is about as useful as owning commercial real estate in the Bermuda Triangle when your front lane's Tinder profile includes enjoying long walks on the beach, running around mid-game team fights with 1/4 of his health bar, looking for women who like to ride warthogs / is interested in dashing around in danger and getting fried by big-ass titty lasers. And while the main purpose of highlighting this player's gameplay is to show that shrimp apparently aren't the only species that store shit in their heads, I think it's worth giving the Riot Design team a little cameo, because I'm struggling to understand why every new champ needs 65 dashes in their kit. Anyways, this embarrassing shitfest that this player would probably classify as defending tower ended up costing his team 2 until fed Regina George from Mean Girls Jingle Bell Rocks all over my banging internet GF. But despite his best efforts of Angel investing all of his money into every other enemy player all game long, his team is in position to tame King Gyarados, as this Rammus proves to be better than a pro jungler in the World's Finals, and then we see what some people would classify as a sacrifice but correct people would recognize as the effect of inbred mating. That said, maybe there's merit to him walking around handing out cash like a Summoner's Rift Mr. Beast, because every single person this MF now kills is miraculously worth shut down, all because someone wanted to play the cool new champ and figure out what his abilities do in a ranked game. OT he look guys, this is so fun. Wait guys, where are you? I'm all alone because this isn't my jungle shit. Oh well, I'm a moron type of gameplay. So it gets to the point where Mr. T is always the icing to single stuffed shit-filled Oreos with the map awareness of a burnt waffle. As you can just tell, there's absolutely no thoughts about LP or how to gain it going on in this man's head, and I'm sure if we did a deeper investigation we'd find very little evidence of any thoughts at all, as he donates once more to the I'm a Dumb Dead Bitch Foundation. Team fights are now consisting of him getting frisky with that chick and her pig, thinking he's like Adam Sandler and I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, as if Sage will let him cop a field just cause he's gay. But Lux is all like girl power, and if you noticed at the bottom of the scene there, Miss Fortune, who played the whole game to damn near perfection, realized she made one crucial mistake, picking ADC as a role, so yet another promo's ruined and another game wrecked by someone suffering from the infamous new champion syndrome. You aren't alone man, but God do you need help. Rav out.